emotions, but with data, which is the new oil, all the stuff that you come together with, if you could just underline the factors, that'll help us. Thank you.
No, I think data is a tool. It's not anything but. It helps you understand something. There's a kismet and a magic that happens in the storytelling that is not captured in the data ever. Where you see this and say, oh, that's going to be that. Data is very good at telling you some version of what you already did. But when you're trying to take on something you've never seen before, never recreated before, the data is of no use to you at all. I do think there's something around the thing where people hang. You can start seeing that in big numbers when people are watching and maybe giving up on something around the same time or whatever. So you can get some sense of the rhythm of the storytelling and the connectivity of that from some of the performance data. But I don't think there's anything in data that says this is going to be great. That really is still a very intuitive process between the creative executive and the creator.
That answers it for you, Rishi.
They're not perfect. And because they're not perfect, it's so exciting to find and discover, okay, how are they going to interpret the role? I mean, that role could be interpreted in so many different ways, but what Manisha Koirala brings to that role, and therefore to discover the process of, oh, I have cast correctly, comes, I feel, you believe it only the end. What does Sonakshi bring to me, besides her beauty and her stardom and her aura? What does Aditi bring to me? So I feel that it's to discover that it's a perfect cast as you make it. Intuitively, I've cast these women because I've always wanted to work with each one of them, and they have wonderful talent. They can do anything. I mean, you throw an ace at them, they throw two back at you. So yes, they have tantrums. Yes, they take 3 hours to come out of the van because they're wearing jewelry and makeup and hair.
Beauty in the ranks.
Then the manager comes and says, Madam has to go a little early, or Madam has to go and Madam chill, and Madam just take a break and just go for it. But they're so lovely. When they come out, they can walk away with anything, any sin they can walk away with. Step out of the van. You're just looking at them as they walk past. Then they take the paper and they start talking, and you say, oh my God, worth it, I'd wait for another 1 hour if they have to do, but doesn't matter. They're such wonderful girls, and I had a blast shooting with them. So, no, they're not perfect. They will, by the end of the 8th episode when I finish, I will be saying that yes, that is the perfect cast. It's a difficult question.
We were caught napping.
Well, I think you same answer. So
I would say the only observation about young people, how they may have changed, is they're influenced by something different. So most of the people who work with me all grew up watching a lot of television and seeing a lot of movies in theaters. And then the generation right behind, they do both of those things, but they also spend a lot of time on social media and a lot of time on user-generated content. And so I disregard, I do not accept that young people have a short attention span, because I know that's not true, because they'll sit down and binge 8 hours of a show in one sitting. So I do think the influences is the biggest change in what's it going to be like when you have spent 2 or 3 or 4 of the hours a day that you used to spend watching movies and TV, watching content in social media platforms and user-generated content, and how that's going to influence the content that you create, that you ultimately create. That's probably different generation over generation. We've created and released 50 games on Netflix in the last year, and we're going to continue to grow that. Here's my thinking about gaming, and I think it's true all over the world. People a decade from now will be spending a lot of time watching movies and television shows and playing games. I know that's true. I don't know what the mix is going to be, so we want to be part of the game world because I think it's a different way of creating worlds and telling stories. And I think what we'll do in India is going to be the thing we do all over the world, is create those worlds and tell those stories that are unique and loved by the local audiences.
Thank you. Wow, you get a lot of questions you love.
You want me to take one? I was just going to say something I said to the group earlier, which was, you live at a time, as a creator, you live at a very unique time. where the tools to make and distribute films have never been more accessible and affordable and usable. They're probably in your pocket right now. You can make a movie and cut a movie and mix a movie and put it online where millions of people can see it. And that's never been the case, you know, in the history of storytelling. So I think you don't waste it. If you think you've got an idea, try it. You want to shoot, and try to get out there. Even if no one sees it, or even if you don't make any money, you have something you can point somebody to, and they say, "What can you do? What's on your mind? What kind of story do you want to tell?" And I think that's a super unique aspect of a storyteller, a filmmaker today that has never existed before. Just don't squander it. Don't squander that.
Sanjay, I have a question.
See, we have to take one more
Aditi is in the
question.
dock.
Should Aditi elaborate on it or
No, Sanjay.
Must do that.
आप बताइए ना.
नहीं,
आपने कहा compliment नहीं मिला आपको. Everybody
Yeah.
compliments you. So
There's
what do
no
you?
taskmaster or an image that the media has built upon me, and these people go and spread it to the world. That I'm tough to work with and I'm difficult to work with and I'm them to nothing. We just sit over there and find a moment that just emerges out of a conversation, discussion, which means I use their mind, they use my mind, I use the art production designer's mind, I use the camera. We all get together, and within that idea, a moment of magic comes, which I then take credit for, and I say that I created the magic. But the fact is that it's everybody's mind that moment when you wait for comes after a lot of hard work and focus and commitment and conviction. So that is why they call me a taskmaster, because I won't let them go to the van till we found that moment. So that moment that we find is very precious to all of us. It doesn't come through because of me, it comes through because of everyone who works on the
Great, that's great.
India. You may have seen in the last couple of days, India is the fastest growing Netflix market in the world this year. And because of that, we're able to continue to invest in great storytelling. And I think when you see Heramanda, you're going to see why it has been such the honor of a lifetime to work with Sanjay and to be able to bring this to screen. And you ain't seen nothing yet. So,
One more thing. I don't want them to go at all to LA. Can we stay back and be in India and inspire lots of
We work on it.
filmmakers
Monica,
and
let's work on that.
and not go?
Done.
So,
I agree.
Ted can
I
stay back
second
for
that.
all the filmmakers, for those new filmmakers, that's where you'll find your.
Let's stay back. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank the two of you for your time, for your invaluable insights that all of us here have thoroughly enjoyed, for that wonderful sneak peek into your mega show that we can't wait to see more of.